God looked down on the adolescent world and saw great need and brokenness. He saw kids who longed to belong, to be taken seriously, kids who longed to matter. He saw kids who longed for a safe place, longed to be uniquely themselves, and longed to be wanted. So God made a young life leader. God's plan was to send a messenger, someone willing to be trained to share the good news, to show up in the world of kids time and time again. Someone who would be the only adult brave enough to stand in the student section of a football game and stay past midnight cheering on kids. So God made a young life leader. Who would be bold enough to start a conversation from scratch and yet have a desperate dependence on God? Who would remember kids' names, combat the vulgarity of the adolescent culture, walk through the halls silently praying, be stood up for lunch time and time again, and then celebrate that day when persistence wins and the invitation for lunch is not only accepted, but attended? So God made a young life leader. God said, I need someone to give up a night to plan and pray for the ministry week ahead, to put on an excellent club, and then when it's over, spend the next hour hanging out with kids at Freddy's before driving them all home. So God made a young life leader. Who else would make themselves available to kids 24/7, make humor clean, shoot hoops and toss a frisbee, and stand on the side of the road playing guitar to people running a 5K to raise money for a kid to go to camp? That would be a young life leader. Who, when other people their age are serving themselves and climbing the ladder, will be found serving the least of these, sacrificing a pleasure and selflessly denying themselves as they take up the cross and follow Him, all in full sight of the lost. A young life leader. Who would be willing to ride a bus all night to camp, go nonstop in a flurry of programmed activities, sleep on a floor mattress in the cabin, get pied in the face, pray over every kid during their 15 minutes, and celebrate as their friends stand up at a say-so? This is why God made a young life leader. Who will take the time to go where kids are? Who will get on their turf and earn the right to be heard? Who believes that relationships are of highest value and do whatever it takes to build bridges of friendship? Who will believe that it's a sin to bore a kid with the gospel? This is why God made a young life leader. It had to be someone who would walk through life with those who need direction, not because they're coerced, but because they're called. Somebody to sow seed, pray, sweat, cry, dream, pursue, show up, sow more seeds, cheer, encourage, serve, and love kids, all in the hope that they would reach the furthest out kid and all the ones in between. Somebody who believes that every kid is special to God and deserves to hear all the facts about His Son, Jesus. This is why God made a young life leader. A young life leader loves the lost no matter their response. They bind kids together as a family with the soft, strong bonds of sharing. And then, one day, she will laugh and then sigh and reply with smiling eyes when her young life kid says she wants to spend her life doing what her leader does. This is why God made a young life leader.